Hello and welcome back to ChrisCourse channel plays Far Cry 3. Today we're going to be discussing the birth and death of stars, which is going to be continuing from last week's video on the early universe. You might remember that last time we started just before I attacked this outpost, and now you'll note the outpost is mine. The reason for that is I screwed up my volume settings, tried to record this while speaking and got massively distracted by the fact everyone was shouting in my ear. So I've had to stop after the outpost and restart the recording. So, stars are basically just vast spheres of gas, which are a balance between the gravitational forces trying to collapse them down into a point, and the thermal forces trying to explode them, which are produced by the nuclear fusion at their cores. Stars that are stable are said to be in hydrostatic balance, and this kind of star is known as a main sequence star, which is by far the most common type. The main reaction in main sequence stars is hydrogen fusion into helium, though you do get some other ones as well, which we'll discuss a little bit later on. As a general rule, more massive stars live shorter lives and spend less time on the main sequence because they burn through their hydrogen fuel faster because they're much larger, have higher temperatures and pressures, and thus can fuse it quicker. Most fusion in a star occurs in the core, and the energy takes in a star the size of our Sun about 1 million years to get from the core of the Sun where it's generated to the surface of the Sun where it's emitted for us to see. So yes, it's true that light takes 8 minutes to get from the Sun to Earth, but it takes 1 million years for it to get from the core of the star to the surface of it, because stars are extremely dense and it has to be conducted, convected and radiated all the way through that matter, and it takes a vast amount of time. All stars fuse hydrogen into helium. That's the main reaction that drives life in the universe, effectively. But heavier stars can also fuse the helium into further elements. And the mass of a star is the main driver of all of its properties. A star 10 times the mass of the Sun would produce 1,000 to 10,000 times more power output than the Sun, but would live far less time. The Sun's expected to live for about 10 billion years in total, whereas a star 10 times its mass would only live about 20 million years, so about 500 times less lifetime. I don't know why I didn't get this camp a bit earlier on, but I didn't, so reason's kind of irrelevant in all honesty. There's a guy at the back there. There we are. Let's just take some pictures. Don't know why. Don't know if that increases your ability to detect shit or not, but let's run over here and have a bit of a scout. What's that guy yelling at? Someone nearly saw me there. Oh, there's another guy. I hear a pig. Do we need a pig for anything? We need a pig for a bigger wallet. Where's that pig? Babe? Babe? Oh shit, he's run off. Holy moly, he's run towards me. That guy. Right, yeah, we need a pig for a bigger wallet, so we're going to deal with that quickly because we are running out... Well, actually, we're not running out of space for money. We have no money at all. I need to pick up more crap from people after looting these outposts because I'm doing really poorly for money. Stars form as a gas cloud collapses in on itself. They're mostly hydrogen to begin with, because hydrogen is by far the most common element in the universe because it's the smallest. As these dust clouds collapse, they heat up until the temperature and the pressure are high enough to initiate fusion, at which point the heat from the fusion reaction balances out the collapse and they stabilise into a star over a period of thousands of years, and then they remain pretty constantly stable after that until the later points in their life cycle. Most stars have approximately the same mass of the Sun and have a fairly sedentary lifestyle. They form and then they work through the main sequence fusing hydrogen into helium until most of the hydrogen fuel in the core runs dry and they run out. And the core then collapses because the heat inside can't counteract the gravity anymore until the compression heats it enough to start fusing helium into carbon. And it starts doing that process, and then that halts the collapse of the core and increases the star's energy output effectively. And the outer layers of the star, boosted by this extra heat coming from the core, start to fuse more hydrogen. And this entire thing causes the star to heat up and thus expand into what is known as a red giant. And that's the fate that awaits our Sun in probably about 4 or 5 billion years, if I recall. There we go, he is now coming over this way. I want to be back here where he can't see me. Drag him there. So he's behind a fence, and his comrades have no idea where he is. Getting a bit closer. Getting a bit closer. Coming round. Perfect. Right, and... one down. There's also a guy right over the back there. Just wait for that guy to turn round. And get him. Hopefully he'll fall in the water, or at least behind some boxes. Okay, no one seems to have noticed that. That's good. Can we drag that guy over here as well? Yes, we... Oh, shit, the dog. Oh, the dog isn't helpful. I was hoping for just a guy. Not a guy and his dog. Oh, that's exceptionally unhelpful indeed. Over here. Over here, guys. Nothing. You didn't hear anything. Don't be silly. Oh, the dog's gone off in the other direction. Excellent. Right, just wait for him to get a tiny bit closer. Not too close or I'll discover the body. Shit, like that. Shit. Woohoo! Damn, was that close. Oh crap, now there's a dog on its way. I don't know where the fence ends. Okay, dog's down. When a star's a red giant like this, it sheds mass as heat from the core blows matter off into the solar system, so the star's heat actually ejects some of its mass violently, which slowly reduces the star's mass, and over time it burns through the helium supply, and some stars on the heavier end of this mass area can also fuse the carbon into neon, I believe, and that kind of thing, but eventually all of the fuel supply runs out, and the star collapses down into a white dwarf, which is effectively a hot ball of gas in space. There's no fusion to speak of inside of it, it's just running on residual heat and cooling down slowly in the vacuum of space, until eventually we believe they turn into black dwarfs, which are basically lumps of carbon floating in space that used to be stars, but we haven't observed any of those yet because, well, they don't put out much radiation, and it's quite difficult to see something that doesn't give out radiation in space because it just looks like space. Don't turn around. No, no. And I believe that's it. Yes, perfect job. Nothing but the arrows. That's how you're supposed to take outposts over. Oh, that's marvellous. Right, that makes it extremely cheap because I don't have to buy any bullets, just arrows, which cost no money whatsoever. Hey guys, what do you think? Nice work, eh? For once. Stars less than 40% of the mass of our sun are known as red dwarfs, and they burn fuel very slowly, so are dim, but they have lifetimes longer than the current age of the universe in some cases, so they will happily sit and burn hydrogen and watch while all of the other stars just die off. Effectively, they will long outlive most stars. And on the other end of the spectrum, we have supergiant stars and hypergiant stars, which is where things start to get a little interesting, because that's where the most violent reactions happen. Basically, these are stars with more than 5 times the mass of the Sun, and in some cases more than 50 or 100 times the mass of the Sun. They're very, very rare, but the galaxy is humongous, so there's a fair number of them in actuality. They start off following the same kind of process as main sequence stars, but much faster due to the higher temperatures and pressures and greater rates of fusion. They fuse hydrogen, and when that's done they fuse helium, and then carbon, and then they fuse carbon into neon, and neon into oxygen, the oxygen into silicon, and the silicon into iron, or technically they fuse the silicon into nickel-57, I think, which then radioactively decays into iron-56. And iron cannot be fused to make energy. It actually just about consumes energy to fuse iron atoms together, so the star can't derive any more energy from that source. So the iron builds up and builds up and builds up at the core, and you effectively have an onion-like structure where there's an iron core at the middle, and then layers of fusion for silicon, oxygen, neon, carbon, helium, and hydrogen going outwards. So the very outer layer fuses hydrogen, and there's a massive lump of iron that can be heavier than our sun sitting at the core of these stars. Just imagine that. A lump of iron heavier than the star at the centre of our solar system. That's a big lump of iron. Right, medical. No, that's what we're looking for. Syringe kit. We need 3 dog skin for that one. Wallet. Oh, I've already got the one that needs a pig. I need another cassowary for the wallet. The main thing I want, I think, is another arrow quiver, which means I need tape here. Should we go and find some tape here? Should we make that the rest of this video? I think that's a good idea. Let's go do that. Where on earth are we going to find them? That's pigs. Don't need pigs. Need tape here. Tapir, hello. Right down from that place. Wherefore art thou, Juliet? That's interesting, never seen that there before. Not going to find out what it is now either. Right. Let's just pop our way down from here. And see what's cooking. Should still be a car. Well, actually there shouldn't, because I nicked it a few minutes ago and drove it in completely the opposite direction. But there is still a car. So another driving compilation. Actually, I think I'm getting better at driving. I seem to be failing less now. There's less crap for my driving compilations. Okay, that was not my fault. That time the game lagged. I was driving in a straight line, there was a few frames worth of pause, and I was suddenly in the ocean. Oh, that had to happen just as I was saying I was getting better at driving, didn't it? Oh well, we're pretty much there anyway. Didn't really need the car. Hello, birds. Right, does anyone see a tapir? 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 The end of those stars' lives, there are various really fascinating methods of collapse that I'm going to run a future video on, specifically on supernovae and that kind of thing, and the end of these hypergiant stars. The end result of those processes is basically the same, in that the star catastrophically collapses in on itself at up to about a quarter of the speed of light. So this is an incredibly fast gravitational collapse. This is matter falling in at quarter of the speed of light under gravity. We're fine. It's okay, my character is apparently equipped to deal with that manner of fall. Oh my god, the tapirs are being dealt with by a whatever. Oh, don't knock them down the waterfall. Also, don't come towards me. Jesus Christ. I didn't anticipate that. That's an unusual twist to my tapir hunting. Crap. Hunting. Okay, let's just... Oh, that would have been expensive. And as it collapses in, again, various processes happen that I'll explain in a later video, but they result in a cataclysmic release of energy, which detonates the star in by far the most violent explosions in the universe. And to give you an impression of how violent these are, in 10 seconds, a supernova can throw out more energy than the entire galaxy produces in 3 years. That's 400 billion stars burning for 3 years to produce as much energy as a supernova puts out in 10 seconds. Again, to put that another way, that's enough energy to reduce the planet Earth to a cloud of atoms, not dust, atoms, 40,000 billion times over. And to try and take that down to a slightly more understandable scale, the bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima was obviously phenomenally destructive. It effectively annihilated a city. One of these supernovae is equivalent to 200,000 billion of those bombs. It's an incomprehensible amount of energy. It is a solar system annihilating quantity of energy. In fact, it can cause extinctions on planets in nearby solar systems. Light years away from the detonation site, it can cause mass extinctions and blow the atmospheres off planets. It's phenomenal, it's astounding, and that is why I love astronomy and think people who don't are crazy. Fucking tiger. Why must tigers screw me over? Every time I want something. Bloody tiger. It's never when I'm in the middle of taking over an outpost, is it? No, that'd be helpful. Just when I'm running around looking for bloody tapirs, it eats them all. Oh, shite, that was a terrible shot. That one. How did I get... Oh, I missed that, really. Jesus Christ. Run. 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 Okay, there we go. Finally got the bastard. Well, one of the bastards. The one I was aiming at ran off. This one wasn't intelligent enough. Okay, let's go and craft. Rucksack? No. Arrow quivers. Don't need a bigger rucksack, don't be stupid. If I get 2 more tapirs, actually, I can get the bigger rucksack and just get that out of the way. So, let's do that. Since I'm here, and so are these guys. And we should be in a friendly area, so I shouldn't have much in the way of trouble. The final thing I'm going to do in this video is a quick call out, because I'm starting a new series this Sunday called Short Answer Sundays, where basically in comments you can submit fairly short questions you think might have a fairly short answer about science, engineering or technology, and I will attempt to answer 10 of them in a 15 or 20 minute video on Sunday in a free game, a new one each week, to keep up a bit of variety. Because the old Sunday specials didn't really fit in with the rest of the theme of the channel, so I've had a bit of a rethink, and this is what we're going with. So I'd be interested to hear your questions. Please leave them in comments for any video, or message them to me directly, and we'll see what happens about that. Seriously, I will run around here until I find you. Hey guys, don't mind me. Okay, no, this appears to now be a tapir-free zone. No, it doesn't. There it is. Okay, we finally got our last tapir. And that is... Well, actually, no, I'm going to craft the thing first. There we are, just take its skin. And, okay, it hasn't told me the thing's ready, but I know it is. And, loot rucksack. Rugged rucksack. There we are. The next one needs 4 dingo pelts. Do you even get dingoes on this island? I don't think you do. Anyway, that is where we are going to end this video for now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Farewell.